Hello and welcome back to the podcast Cup of Cardio, where we teach you about cardiovascular health in the time it takes us to drink a cup of tea. So, I'm here today with
Bailey. Hello everyone.
And today we're going to be talking about the role that telemedicine can play in cardiovascular diseases. We're going to go through cardiovascular diseases in the UK. We're going to have a look at a specific example here with Bailey. And then we're going to go through Bailey's life and what he's been through, the role of telemedicine and what it might have played here. And then we're going to take this back out and look at how telemedicine can impact other cardiovascular diseases. So, cardiovascular diseases just broadly mean diseases affecting the heart and the blood vessels, and this is the leading cause of global deaths. So, within the UK, Bailey, how many people do you think actually have cardiovascular diseases?
I don't know, about a million deaths a year, maybe?
Way more.
Two.
7.6 million people in the UK.
Really?
Yeah, I know. So yeah, 7.6 million people in the UK have cardiovascular diseases. And the NHS aims to diagnose and deliver treatment to these diseases within 18 weeks. However, 39% of people actually have to wait longer for this. And this is costing the NHS £7.4 billion a year. I know.
It's a lot.
Okay, so now we're going to have a look at a specific example, which is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Bailey, what do you know about this disease?
Yeah, so I don't know too much about it.
Yeah.
I know enough that I have to have annual checks and stuff like that, but I don't know like the ins and outs for it.
So HCM, let's call it, is a genetic condition caused by mutations where the heart muscle, in particular the left ventricle, the tissue becomes really thick and stiffened, causing multiple other things. It's autosomal and dominant, meaning it's not on a sex chromosome, so both sexes are equally vulnerable to it. And you have a 50% chance of inheriting it. In out of your sisters, I can't remember now. It's just you who has it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just me who has it. My sister has another heart condition, but it's not like I have that one as well.
Yeah, and it's lifelong. It gets worse with age. So yeah, it really needs specific and long-term data collection, I think.
Yeah.
So, babe, would you mind sharing what happened with your dad, briefly?
Yeah, so my dad didn't know he had it until I was born. So obviously when I was born, they realised that I had the condition, and obviously because it's genetic, it's either going to come from my mum or my dad. Late 40s, early 50s until we found out that he had it, so it was quite later on in life.
Bit of a shock.
Yeah, bit of a shock for him. So this was like in the early 2000s, I was born in 2000, so there wasn't much like
technology.
Technology.
Yeah, I think overall there's probably a need, because it's such like a long-term condition, as we said, it's lifelong and gets worse with age, as you know.
Yeah.
We need long-term data and monitoring to be able to have just better healthcare really for this type of disease. So, did you know there's actually a solution to this? Have you ever heard of telemedicine?
Is that like online consultations and newer technologies or something? Is that?
It actually is, yeah. So telemedicine is the use of telecommunications to improve healthcare. Yeah, so you're right. It can be like online consultations, like Zoom, whatever, which basically means you don't have to go in person and see the doctor, because that takes time, it takes money, it's consuming. But also there's another part to it, which is wearable devices, which can track your data, monitor it, just in your everyday life really. And then you can use that in these online consultations to basically strengthen the doctor's opinion and judgments. Also another one is the use of secure messaging, which is confidential. So yeah, you can just have more of a casual contact with your doctor as well. So an example of this, sports watches. I know you have a sports watch.
I do have an Apple Watch, and I do wear it sometimes, but for some reason today I'm actually just wearing a normal watch. But I can check my...
Yeah, it can track things like blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol even.
Oh, it can track blood sugar?
Yeah, so...
Oh, I just use it to monitor my heart rate. I didn't know it could do that.
That's probably one of the main uses, I'd say, yeah, 100%. And lots of people do that as well. But yeah, with blood sugar, you wouldn't even think it has a relation to cardiovascular diseases.
No.
But yeah, it can do things like damage your nerves, damage tissue in your heart. So yeah, there's lots that telemedicine can actually teach us.
Realistically, with these technologies do sound really good, but how effective,
actually is it?
Yeah.
That's a good question. So these wearable devices in particular, they're only really effective over long periods of time. For example, with HCM that you and your family have, like your dad, for example, that needs long-term monitoring to be able to provide real data to the doctor or whatever. However, there's something to note is that this does not replace your doctor, it just helps them make better decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And with the online consultation, that is also quite effective. People are more likely to turn up to the appointments, they don't have to go anywhere, it's more convenient, it means our life is less affected by our health. It's actually a quicker turnover as well of appointments, which can cut down NHS spending and time. So yeah, I think there's definitely a role for telemedicine in cardiovascular diseases.
Yeah, and I think that would have been very beneficial, especially obviously those technologies were around in the early 2000s. So unfortunately, when my dad passed away, he passed away because he had a sudden heart attack. So I'm just wondering what if these technologies would have existed back then, if it could have possibly saved his life back then, or
I definitely think so, because
those technologies I think will slowly start to come in, because he died in 2013.
Yeah.
So I think in the next couple of years, I think that's when, I'm not sure, I could be making this up, but I think that's when Apple Watch and stuff really started to...
There was telemedicine 10, 15 years ago, but it wasn't anything like today.
Yeah.
It was very, very primal almost. It didn't really take effect or have an effect on people's health. Do you have any worries about telemedicine in terms of data or anything?
Yeah, no, Apple Watches and stuff, that's all really, I do think, obviously that's a great way forward. But I think with anything comes with a risk online, so has there been any, or could there be any data breaches when it comes to
leaks or anything?
Yeah, from personal information.
That's always a possibility, as it is with anything. However, the messaging is really secure, and all contact with the doctor is confidential and protected legally. It's the exact same as doing an in-person one. Everything is private. This cannot be taken out. But yeah, so it's completely safe. What was it like before telemedicine, or before this was even a conversation? How would people know about heart health and cardiovascular diseases and how to help people?
For me, I would either just look online. When I knew I had it, I think later in life I started to research a bit about it. But if I wanted to actually speak to a professional or actually learn about my own body, I'd have to book an appointment, wait, and then go in. Oh, but funny enough, I used to, I don't use this much anymore because I don't need to.
Oh.
But This is my British Heart Foundation ID. So here it is. The back is a bit smudged because obviously it's quite old. So I used to carry this around in my wallet all the time. So what it says on the back, obviously you can't see it anymore, it would say my heart condition. And then an emergency contact, so I had my mum's number. So if anything did happen when I was out, someone would go, obviously people go through your wallet and then see that I had this, and then they can call an ambulance and say, oh, by the way, this guy's either having a heart attack, it says on his card that he's got this is his emergency contact number, so then they'll know who my family is.
It's quite slow though, and
as you can see, it still didn't last long. It's when you're out in the rain or you're out clubbing or something like that, you only can ride black.
This really helps the age of telemedicine, because imagine if you could just give your doctor a notification, or emergency services a notification, because it knows, because it can track all these things we talked about.
Or when you're close friends with people, my family for example, if anything happens, all they have to do is, one, look at my watch and it'll be notified by a professional anyway. On top of that, because my mum's a nurse, she can literally tap my watch and see what my heart rate is going at, and oh, this is this level, and this is what he needs, and this is what he needs right now. But how about other cardiovascular diseases?
Yeah, so they're not just used in HCM like what you have. So cardiovascular diseases produce many more metrics that can be detected away from the hospital. So things like oxygen saturation can be used.
You can just have that on your Apple Watch. Is there any point, I still have to go into my doctor once a year to have that done.
Good question.
Is there any point for me to actually go in that, or could I just wear my watch?
So something that's really, really important is that the ECG on here is just a single snapshot. It's not the same quality or size as one that you'd have done in a hospital. So yeah, it's really important to know that telemedicine does not replace your doctor or testing that they will do in hospitals. It's just more of a prompt that people can take to go and see a doctor. Okay, so these metrics that I just said, they can be used to detect things like heart failure, arrhythmia. You have arrhythmia, actually. Yeah. And atrial fibrillation. Overall, telemedicine has two main components that we've discussed here. Devices, like wearable ones like Apple Watches, sports watches, those are the main two, which provide long-term personalised patient data. And then there's also the virtual contact with your GP. This could include secure and confidential messaging and online consultations. Together, these two forms connect your everyday life to your doctor more. And that means you can respond to emergencies more quickly and with reduced interruption to your life. Bailey, do you have any final comments?
It's been quite insightful. It actually showed I thought I knew about, quite a lot about it anyway, but I've learned quite a lot.
Me too.
It makes me learn that I should probably wear my Apple Watch a bit more.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you. Bye-bye.
And that has been Cup of Cardio.
Cup of Cardio.